In the ancient land where the Indus flowed, where saints preached peace and poets wrote verses of love, a silence once lived. A silence older than kingdoms, deeper than faith, stronger than armies. For centuries, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, and many others shared the same dust, breathed the same air, prayed under the same sky. Cities rose, civilizations flourished, and cultures mixed like colors in flowing water. This land was never merely geography, it was memory, soul, identity, and history. But history does not always move gently. When the British arrived, not as conquerors at first, but as merchants, the earth did not shake. Ships anchored quietly. Trade began humbly. But greed is a silent fire. It burns slowly until nothing remains but ash. The East India Company soon replaced diplomacy with deception, negotiation with war, and friendship with control. The subcontinent, a jewel of the world, slowly became a crown for a foreign empire. Muslims, who had once ruled under the Mughal dynasty, watched their power fade. After the War of 1857, the British feared Muslim leadership, crushed their institutions, suspended their voices, and treated them as a defeated people. Education was denied. Jobs disappeared. Landed families lost everything. The British labeled one community potential rebels and another potential allies. And in that single strategy, the poison of division was planted. It was not a hatred born in hearts, it was a hatred taught. Not ancient hostility, but modern politics. And as decades passed, the question grew in the minds of millions. If tomorrow, rulers leave, who will decide our fate? Will we be equal citizens? Or, again, subjects under a majority? Muslims, once silent, began awakening. The All India Muslim League was born. Voices rose. Young minds marched, dreams formed. But it was not just about religion, it was about space, identity, dignity, and future. Two communities, equal in history, unequal in numbers, stared at a coming storm. Then came Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a man carved in steel, refined in thought, quiet in tone, but fierce in determination. Jinnah was not a man of slogans. He was a man of law, reason, vision. He once dreamed of united India, but unity demanded justice, and that justice was denied. Years of negotiations, broken promises, riots, and political arrogance hardened his belief. A minority without safeguards is a nation without a future. On the other side, Congress leadership believed in one centralized power, one authority, one destiny, but not one fear. Their dream ignored the anxiety of millions. Politics turned emotional. Speeches ignited crowds. Youth marched with flags. Elders debated. Women prayed quietly, and the soil felt the weight of history preparing to shift. 1940, Lahore. A declaration thundered across the subcontinent. Muslims demanded a separate homeland, a place where their culture, law, tradition, and spirit could breathe freely. It wasn't born from hatred, but from longing for safety, a wish to live with dignity, not apology. A land where they would not ask for space, they would own it. But Britain, tired from World War II, wanted escape, not justice. Deadlines replaced planning. Pressure replaced patience. Decisions were made not with wisdom, but urgency. They sent a man, a stranger to this land, to draw a border. Cyril Radcliffe, who had never seen Lahore, Bengal, Sindh, or Punjab, was given maps, not memories. Lines were drawn across rivers, cities, farms, and hearts. What took history thousands of years to build, pencils destroyed in weeks. August approached like a storm at midnight. One nation prepared to become two. Celebrations filled the air, but fear filled the ground. And then freedom came. Pakistan first, August 14th. India next, August 15th. Flags rose. Cannon fire echoed. Prayers filled mosques, temples, gurdwaras, churches, and homes. Mothers cried, not knowing whether tears were of joy or the beginning of tragedy. Because with freedom, the night opened its darkest chapter. Caravans stretched across the burning plains. Men walked with their families, carrying small bags and big dreams. Women held the hands of children, whispering hope while hiding fear. Trains moved like veins across the land, some carrying life, some carrying death. And suddenly, neighbors became enemies, not because faith changed, but because hearts were poisoned by fear and rage. Villages vanished in flames. Wells filled not with water, but bodies. Human screams replaced the songs of old India. Mothers searched for lost children. Brothers fought to protect sisters. Children waited for fathers who would never return. Humanity fell, yet humanity also rose. There were Hindus who hid Muslim children in their homes. Muslims who shielded Sikh families in mosques. Sikhs who protected Hindu women as their sisters. Even in the darkest hour, sparks of light refused to die. Nearly 2 million souls never saw the dawn of peace. 15 million crossed new borders, leaving behind homes, graves, dreams, memories, clothes still drying on doorsteps, fields waiting for harvest, friends they would never see again. Pakistan began its journey with empty coffers, few officers, divided provinces, and millions of refugees, but hearts stronger than mountains. The country started not with wealth, but with faith and hope and wounds that time would slowly heal. India, too, marched forward, industrial, political, ambitious, and determined. Two destinies, born from one pain. Yet even today, when we speak of that time, our voices tremble not because we hate each other, but because we remember. Partition is not a chapter, it is a scar. But scars do not only mean hurt, they also mean survival. We must look at history not to ignite anger, but to honor sacrifice. To recognize that peace is precious. That leaders may draw lines,